Hello and welcome to 4,000 and counting. I'm Watty. This is Mark, and we are still brought to you by our good friends at Hurricane E-Bike. It is episode 1 of the roundup 23-24. Mark did say before we come on air that he was going to sneeze, and he lasted maybe 8 seconds. I don't know, maybe you timestamped that, but it was pretty quick. It was pretty quick. Episode 1 of the roundup. We're going to be chatting all things Elite League, NIHL, and signings, results, who's doing what over the weekend. Biggest news, arguably, of the week, as the Manchester Storm 7 hours ago have put out, quite frankly, a left field signing. Joe Morrow, former Boston Bruin, Winnipeg Jet, Montreal Canadian, cup of coffee in Switzerland, 82 games in the KHL. I mean, Mark, what do you make of this signing? Was not expecting this. Obviously, you're a Boston guy. You probably know a bit more about him than I do.
Yeah, I remember him. I can't say too much. I'm not gonna say I remember him being decent, but I can't say I recognize every single game he's played and could tell you a full breakdown on him. But
Not like
that's one
a
hell of a signing.
not like a McDavid where you could just break the guy down, right?
Exactly. But this guy's stats, well, not stats. His pedigree, his career has been solid. So this kind of
Yeah.
caliber of player. Whew.
Well, mate, last year he played 31 games for HK Sochi. So he would have played with come on, brain. He would have
What the
played
young guy,
with
Mitchkov.
Michkov. That's the one. Thanks, mate. Yeah, he would have played with Michkov last year. So obviously we're in contact with Joe. We want to get Joe on the podcast. This is arguably the biggest career / NHL games to come over. The fact that he was pretty much part of the Bruins organization from 2014 and stayed within NHL organizations right up until 2019. Decided he was going to go down to the A for maybe a month, and then was like, I'm going to go get paid. I'm going to Minsk. Went to the KHL, into the Liga in Finland, KHL again with a team in Kazakhstan, then Sochi. Couple of games in Davos, one playoff game. So he must have just left the KHL and went over there. But I mean, his pedigree, Mark, is fucking legit, legit, and he's 30 years old. 30 years old, 162 games in the NHL, 82 games. He's gonna walk into the Storm shed and be like, "What in the fuck?
What is this?
Where's the rink?" He's gonna think this is a practice facility. They're gonna no, this
Given
is
the
the rink.
places that he's been playing.
Yeah, he's been playing Davos, man. I know he only played 3 games there at the end of last year. Sochi, they had the Olympics a few years ago. Fucking unreal spot. Davos, unreal spot. Boston, Montreal, Winnipeg. I know Winnipeg's, I mean, Bandy loved it, but it's a bit too cold for my liking. I mean, even being Scottish, Winnipeg takes a piss. Minus 30 on a winter's day, no thanks.
Yeah, on a warm day.
On a warm winter's day. Yeah, my mate, Loz Hickmore, used to play for Bays. Shout out Loz Hickmore. Used to play for Bays and Stoke Bison Juniors back in the day. He's an ice road trucker out in Canada now, and he'll post shit. He'll post things, and it'll be where he's driving across the ice and stuff. He'll get out, and he'll do the old temp check. He'll be a post that's minus 48. Like, jeez. Imagine those guys are a different breed, but this is a different breed of signing and outstanding piece of business for Manchester. Good to see that the Liga they're up in the ante with the players they're signing. Obviously, we've had another signing this week. I'm going to butcher his name. Elijah, the guy that was in Dundee and then went across to Belfast, got injured, ruled out for the
Barriger.
Yeah, I think something like that. So did very well for the Stars. Big things expected at Belfast, but he's been ruled out for the season, which is unfortunate. But they brought in Johnny Curran. Everybody knows him from the Coventry Blaze and the GB setup. Led Coventry in scoring. So they not only have Tedesco, top scorer from the Flames, they have Curran, top scorer from Coventry, collecting guys. And What do you reckon of that signing then? I think it's a good one.
Smart move. Did a good job in Coventry, so he knows the league and to replace. Unfortunately, in these circumstances, I wish Elijah all the best.
It's savage, mate.
Badiger, yeah, that's sad to hear. So a replacement like that is, well, a Belfast replacement.
Yeah, everyone's like putting the money bag emojis out. So, well, if you got money, fucking spend it.
Exactly, and the thing is, they recruit the right player.
Yeah. Yeah, they could have chucked money at anybody. But they go, right, this guy knows the league. He's been productive in this league on a team that's not won as many games as we've won notoriously over the last 3, 4, 5 seasons. He's going to get more chances to win. He's going to get more reps on the offense. Yeah, I think it's a real good bit of business, and Belfast just show what they're all about once again. I mean, they are a class organisation, and when something like that happens, I mean, they're straight in it. Little bit of controversy over the weekend. There was a hit in the Coventry versus Steelers game. It's led to an article in the Star, and obviously, I think it was Waitland that got hit from behind.
Yeah,
Tansy's Watlin, that's it. Tansy's kind of escorting him off the ice there, having a few choice words. The Star have come out and pretty much just said, like, it's like kind of like a slapshot article. I love it. There will be retribution, and they play each other again. Just 10 days time, 12 days time, however long it is. I love this from the press, by the way. I'm here for it.
nice to see the media going old school.
Let's go. Let's go. Like, I mean, we don't quite need interviews with like Weapon X and fucking the sheriff telling everybody on that ITV Scotland that they're going to beat the wheels off each other. I mean, it doesn't need to be that bad, but a little bit of niggle. Yeah, you run my guy from behind.
Too right.
I took your number down, number 44. I looked at the back of your jersey. I remember you. There's a lot of times that we're going to play against each other this year, and hey, set the tone. I love it.
Yeah, you got that. You got Nottingham now. It's spicing things up. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's good to have these kind of niggles and backstories going into games. But Mark, let's go into the results of the Elite League, because first weekend of the league there, just been and gone.
Let's start with Friday then. We had Belfast Giants in the Challenge Cup. They won 4-1 at home against the Dundee Stars.
To be expected, the result. Belfast at home, I pretty much expect them to win every game they play at home. You'd be maybe not shocked if the Flames or Sheffield turn them over, etc. But for the most part, Belfast at home, it should be open and shut, done all year long.
Yeah, not many teams are going to take points from Belfast there. But like you say, you got teams Sheffield, Flames. The Flames had their number, didn't they, last year?
Yeah.
So who knows? I mean, they're looking good, and yeah, 4-1 start as we go into the season just shows that they're not going to be struggling for goals.
No, they won't struggle for goals. I believe that they put a 6 spot on them the next night. Was it 6-2? So 10 goals over the opening weekend.
6-2, yeah, 6-2 in Dundee.
Yeah, so I mean, scoring 10 goals the first weekend of the year, that would feel good to get the boys off the mark. And Belfast are notoriously, they get stronger as the season goes. If they can just eke out these wins that we talk about every time we do a podcast, how important it is, the games against Dundee at home in the midweek, whenever they may fall, whether it be September or November, etc. 5, whoever else, Manchester, games that you should win. Those ones that you lose are the ones that lose you the title.
And that's it. It comes down to these games, like you said.
Obviously, this is a Challenge Cup on that one instance, but obviously, in fact, we put a couple of videos out last week. If you haven't seen them, go back and watch them when we're done with this one. But obviously, I talked about the European trip, and someone said you come to Belfast this year. I was like, I would love to come over for the playoffs, or if Belfast qualify for the final. And I think they put, the annual Belfast Giants Challenge Cup will be taking place here. Book your tickets early. Yeah, like, this is what Belfast have to do. Everyone's like chirping, yeah, they got the easiest group and They get the home ice advantage. They finish top, etc. Yeah, it is an advantage, but you still have to win the fucking games. They're not gimmies.
Yeah,
They're not gimmies.
exactly.
Like Dundee aren't just gonna like bend over and be like, yeah, have your way. They're gonna make you work. And I believe it was 2-1 right up and late in that game. It was a tight game. Belfast were made to work for it at home. They end up winning 4-1, but like it wasn't like an easy night at the office for them. And props to Dundee. Dundee going in there and making Belfast work for it. They'd probably be a little bit more disappointed with the 6-2 performance at home than they would be the 4-1 away, I would imagine.
Yeah, definitely.
They would have been hoping for a little bit of retribution, definitely to keep it closer than the night before. To lose by 4 goals at home, probably a tough look for them. Who else we got there, Mark? Who else played?
We had so touching on what we spoken of, Sheffield Steelers took a 3-2 victory in the league against Coventry Blaze. So that's Sheffield Steelers are looking strong. There was a couple of we had, I think, Saucerman was there. No, Saucerman had a fight in Sunday's game, but
In the Guildford game, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, good weekend for Source. A little podcast bump there. Comes on 4,000, gets a goal at home, tilt away. Let's fucking go, baby. Love it.
We
And Tansy the week before.
Yeah, they're both getting in.
Yeah,
both getting
the score sheet, getting on the score sheet with the gloves on, with the gloves off. Love it.
Both buttes as well.
Yeah, good lads.
Right.
Yeah, all you dickheads like chirping these boys online and that. You have no idea. They're the fucking best. They're the best
nice
guys. Like, just the best guys. Like, honestly, you chat to them. Really, really good dudes. Really good guys. Yeah, they're playing against you. Suck it up, man. Like, you could chirp them all you like, but all the personal shit that goes on and like calling for career ending hits on guys for like 2 weeks into preseason. It's mental. Mental, mate. Just getting into the first week of the regular season and like people on Twitter like calling for guys' heads already.
Yeah, I'm trying not to read too much. It's just annoying.
Yeah, I must admit I've been off it for the last few days. I need my fucking brain just to detox that. Who else we got? So we've got the Steelers with a big win, the Giants with a big win.
And then we're back into the cup, and Manchester Storm lost at home to the Panthers 4-2.
Did they not then get a bit of retribution the following evening?
Yeah, the Nottingham Panthers lost at home 3-2 to the Manchester Storm. So there seems to be a lot of that.
That bodes well for the league. The fact that, you know, yeah, we're going to come into your barn and beat us, but then the next night you can come into our barn and beat us. Teams are going to win at home, teams are going to win on the road. And the fact that Manchester are then announcing NIHL players on top of that. Yeah, not a bad day to be a Manchester Storm fan.
Not at all. And we're going to go to the Glasgow Clan, who also took a home result, a 4-0 win against the Fife Flyers, but then lost on Sunday evening in Fife. They lost
5-1.
5-1.
So a 5-all aggregate kind of weekend for those two teams. It does show, again, Panthers, Manchester, tight games. Flyers and Clan, not so much tight games, but the fact that they split that series. And this is why I call for long format playoffs.
All day.
Right, okay. So what we would end up with now was, did you say the Panthers game, the first game was 4-2 or 3-2?
First game was 4-2.
Okay, so that's irrelevant. But like this Flyers versus Clan situation, a 5-1 performance and a 4-0 performance. That then goes to OT in the playoffs. Fuck that. That needs to be another game. Because one team have been clearly better one night, the other team have been clearly better the other night. That shouldn't then be settled 5 minutes 3-3. That needs to be settled with another game. Like who's the actual best? Because it's so different. It is so different.
It's the fairest way to really show who's the strongest as well between the two. You can't just decide it in overtime or whatever.
And I don't know if the Nottingham final goal in Manchester was an empty netter or not. But let's say for argument's sake it was. that's basically 3-2 and 3-2 over the weekend. So again, we have a similar situation. Let's say they're then now going into an overtime period, as opposed to, hey, look how tight and amazing these games were. We get an extra one. We get we get an extra one. More rivalry build up, more bums on seats, more growth for the game. I would love to see it. I'm going to keep harping on. I mean, I'll probably keep harping on until we don't do this podcast anymore. But it's something I believe that would make a massive difference in the UK game, and there's so many reasons for it. This weekend just proving quite simply why.
Yeah, and I think that if like the luck actually came and it happened, or if all systems were in place and it could happen, every fan would absolutely love it.
Yeah.
They would wish actually that they'd had this before. Like genuinely, playoff series are just it's the best time for players, for the fans, for revenue, for everything.
Players love it. The players love it, and all the North Americans and Euros we spoke to is one of the things they miss when they come here. They do kind of like the fact that there's this quirky kind of final Frozen Four NCAA, especially if they've been the college route. They get it. They know how the Final Four tournaments work. But if they haven't, if they kind of just went Western League, AHL, host, and then come over here, and it's like, yeah, it's just the Final Four. You're like, what the fuck is that? What is that? That's not hockey, because the only thing you know is chasing that NHL goal, and you're going up that ladder. So you're doing the coast and the A and the dub, and it's all series. Then you come over here, and it's like college. It's very different. There was more games on the weekend. Talk us through some more results, Mark. Hit us off. What you got?
So we had. Did I cover Saturday's results? I think I.
I think you did, mate.
Oh no! So we had the Cardiff Devils. They beat the Guildford Flames 4-2 at home
Couple of
on
early
Saturday.
goals, I believe, kind of set the ball rolling on that one, and just the gap was too much to make back for the Flames.
And the return fixture, was there the return fixture on the Sunday?
No, the
No, the Coventry
Steelers.
Blaze.
Yeah,
The Coventry Blaze beat the Cardiff Devils 4-2 at home.
good weekend for Coventry beating Cardiff at home. That's a good result for them. And then the Steelers come down and beat Guildford in Guildford, I believe.
Yep, 3-1 in the league.
So that's a bad weekend for Guildford. To not get anything out of the weekend, they're going to be disappointed, especially after the shit hot form last year where they were so good, so good. Like it was stacked. They were rolling. To not pick up anything off the first weekend, they're going to be disappointed. But no one in that changing room is going to be pulling a panic button or anything like that. They seem to believe that they've got a better roster this year. They're faster and they're stronger. As from speaking to Longer, obviously we spoke to him. He said the speed is outrageous. So at some point they're going to catch fire. It might have not been this weekend, but still in both of those games, still tight games. But hell of a result for Steelers on the road to come down to Guildford, pick up a 3-1 victory.
I think it just shows how strong Steelers are looking already. I mean, it's only early doors. We can't look so much into that, but they look like a decent side. When we saw the roster going into the season, they look solid and they're executing results in way like the Flames. That's huge, especially as we were saying earlier on. These games really do make a difference at the beginning.
The new captain Robert Dowd won't suffer a fucking fool either. Like if you're not working for him, like you're gonna hear about it. Dowdy's a passionate boy. He plays with his heart on his sleeve, and you better believe that will roll into his leadership qualities and the attributes that he shows on the ice are going to be echoed off the ice. Anything we've heard from him in interviews so far has been fantastic. But you better believe we see Jonathan Phillips with the most iconic GB probably pre-game talk ever. Be brave. Let's give it to these cunts. And you know what? He makes you want to run through a wall. Like, at that point, when I watched that, I've been on the ice in like 8 years. I was like, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And you know, Dowdy's got that in abundance. So, yeah, smart. I like it. I like the way the Steelers are playing. I like the way the organization have gone this year. a little bit different in the roster, and I think it's a solid roster.
I think there's a lot of. I think this year's looking exciting. I mean, the Devils look strong, even though they lost 4-2 to the Blaze. I mean, what are we going to expect from Panthers this year? I don't think they're going to be.
They're the weird one, mate.
Still don't know. Let's see how it goes. Belfast, just a Belfast. What interests me at Glasgow?
Yeah,
Really see how they're going to get on,
I think if they can
especially
get on a
after
little,
last year's shit show.
if they can get on a little run, then I'm all for it. What did surprise me, obviously, talked about how tough Tetlow is, and on the day that Hockey Fights UK share his fight from 2017 with Brad Watchorn, where they just stand in the middle and absolutely just throw hammers at each other, he has a tilt, and I was disappointed. It was shite. Nothing got going. I was expecting Tets to really get the hands going, let loose. I don't know if he seemed really tentative. Why choose Hurricane e-bikes? Well, let me tell you, no servicing cost, no need to buy, no interest cost, no long-term agreement, no maintenance cost, no worries, because all their products come with a lifetime warranty. Hurricane are in fact the only company within the UK to offer a lifetime warranty on LCD screens, batteries, motors, all components. Guess what? Ordering from Hurricane couldn't be any easier. You just go across to hurricane.ebikes on their website, and all you got to do is literally head to the website, select your bike, add your accessories, confirm your details, and it's on its way over to you. My personal favorites are the M250 mountain bike, the M350 off-road mountain bike, and the big daddy of them all, the RS8 off-road bike. It is a beast. You can get yours from as little as £1.85 per day. So what are you waiting for? Head over to Hurricane e-bikes now and take advantage of some fantastic deals. He was struggling to get shots off. I don't know if that's an inactivity from being in Finland last year. Maybe feels a bit rusty. I mean, God, like I said, I haven't been on the ice 9 years, whatever. I'd still get on and fight it tomorrow. But it'd be in my brain. Yo, you haven't done this for a little while. You need to defense first, make sure you're smart. I'm hoping the next time he gets in a tilt, he lets them hands go, because woo, he's got some power in those bombs. What did you reckon of him? Did you see the fight?
Yeah, like you say, he's got all the attributes, but something just wasn't. It didn't seem like he wanted it. I don't know.
Lack the killer instincts.
Yeah, it didn't have that. Yeah, that killer instinct at that time. But we know that he's capable of it. He's chucked him with some tough
Chucked him
guys.
with
So
like Dougie Clarkson when he was like 17 or 18 when he was playing at EPL Telford. But no one was going near Dougie. Tet's like, all right, just a kid. Like, and he was game, like real game. Love it. I love guys when they're game, and we talk about it. There was another tilt in the weekend. Obviously, Kyle Locke and Sauce, they went terrible fight.
not much to it, was there? What, two punches thrown and a bit of balance gone, and it sort of took them down.
It's a good job we're not doing tilt of the week at the minute, because it'd be struggle for a pick this week. Whereas last week there was some Donnybrooks, and that was only pre-season. That was only pre-season. But yeah, have we got any more in the Elite League, or should we move down to the National?
Let's move down to the National.
Right, so let's kick off. Sam Cooper departs the Bees before the weekend. Sorry, let me put it up in the chat. That's me now. The guy that Leeds have just signed used to play for Aldi at OHA. What a fucking hockey name. I love it. Bowden Neely. That's like an ice hockey name. So North American kid, 2 years experience playing for Aldi down in Swindon. Gets him in on the old British trade rule, which I love it. People are saying it's like fuckery on the internet. Shithousery, as I believe is the terminology they use. No, it's not. It's the rules. Everybody knows the rules. Do your homework. Like, this guy was available for the other 10 teams to sign.
Yeah.
Like, anybody else could have signed him. They didn't. Suck it up. Stop moaning. We've got Bebris, we've got Zamodra, Sisters, Rouse. There's loads of boys, Lithuanian, Latvian, Czech, whoever, that have played here as juniors, gone away and come back.
Smart recruitment. That's all it is.
Great recruitment.
MK have done it in the past,
Yeah.
Many teams have done it in the past where they've just managed. What's his name that plays for Coventry? He was him and another lad. Was it Chamberlain?
I don't know, mate.
And Steve Clements. Clements was no one there. When they the Mustangs, there was a couple Ogden Mustangs or
Ogden.
something like that.
Oh,
So they had
Harry
some time
Gulliver
out there, and then there we go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just be smart with your signings, and you're keeping an eye on players that are abroad. And if you can pick up one or two guys every couple of years, and someone like this, I love the fact that it's pissed everybody off because it has no right to piss anybody off. Good signing, another good signing. Manchester, they announced the signing of young Connor Lee a couple of weeks back. Well, he's on a move again. He's going to be on a two-way with the Tigers. This is going to be a good move for him. Tommy Watkins is very good with the younger players. Tigers got a good bunch of veterans there and a bunch of good guys. He'll go down there, he'll learn, he'll have some fun, and hopefully he will progress on, and we'll see him playing in the Elite League for the long term with a Storm.
Well, he's gone straight from juniors to having a two-way Telford where he's going to get lots of ice time and also maybe the occasional shout to the Elite League. Isn't that perfect for a 16-year-old? Is he 16?
Yeah, 16.
Yeah, what a perfect start into hockey for a 16-year-old to have that kind of path now to take it.
Okay, weird one then. So the Steelers also announced they signed Angus Lang. I remember Angus from conference tournaments back in the day. Good goalie, Scottish, playing for like Scotland. Then he come down. He did the OHA thing and stuff as well. Good kid. He joins Hull Seahawks. Now, you would think with Warburton there, not Warburton, sorry, McLaughlin there, it's a weird kind of move. And they also have two more goalies on their book. So he goes there, makes it a kind of 4 spot. And then you go, aren't the Steeldogs and the Steelers now the pathway? Do I think Angus plays ahead of Zamodra or Daniel Crowe? No, he probably doesn't. So he's potentially going to get more opportunity to play at Hull. But I just found it weird with the Steeldogs-Steelers connection that this is now the case that he's not going down there and he's going across the Hull. Thoughts?
It's a bizarre one. Like on the side of going to Hull where they've got four guys on there.
Let me check that because I'm going out off of a tweet that I read earlier, and we all know what Twitter's like. I could be talking absolute shite because I've quoted someone.
No, he's the 4th registered goalie going by elite prospects.
Oh, so yeah, you were already right. So we're right, sorry. Okay, so that's interesting. So it makes that decision all the more bizarre. I get what Matty's doing though. He's seen an opportunity to strengthen his roster and he's taken it. Yeah, so you got obviously Jordan and then Tim Lyons and Dominic Smith. Dominic's only 19. He's on a two-way with, let's have a look, who's he on a two-way with? The Hull Jets. So obviously he lives in Hull. He's played his time with the Kingston Juniors, then the Hull Jets. So they obviously don't think he's ready to be playing as of yet. Tim Lyons, another name that I don't know. I also don't know any goalie that wears a number 6.
I was just thinking the same thing, number 6.
That gives me the cringe. It's gross. So gross. Why the fuck is a goalie wearing number 6? Yeah, again, so looking at it, Angus is obviously the more experienced and better goaltender out of the 3 of the guys there. He's had plenty of time playing Division 3, Division 2 over North America. Prior to that, again, he was with the Steeldogs for a little bit and the Capitals for a bit. And I know he wasn't really getting any game time, but he was training and he was doing that sort of stuff there. Played Great Britain juniors. Yeah, still a very left field signing for me. But I think that kind of wraps up the signing portion of it. Let's get to some hockey news, because before this weekend, if I'd told you Bracknell Bees were going to get 4 points, well, you might not have agreed with me. I didn't say
Or
that.
me.
I didn't predict any results this weekend. Obviously, with myself being down in Oxford at the weekend, didn't really look at who was playing on the Sunday, because I wasn't watching any games on Saturday, so I kind of just missed the weekend really. But the Bees, outstanding to
Yeah.
pick up not only 4 points but 14 goals across the weekend. 7-5 against the Phantoms, I believe, and then what was the score the next night? 7. Oh, you've got it in the chat here. Let's have a look. It was a legit 7-6 against the Bees. So 7-6 against the Phantoms, 7-6 against the Tigers.
The Tigers in overtime.
Yeah, in OT. I mean, I believe Balaz had 5+4 out of those 14 goals at the weekend. So
Wow.
I would have loved to have seen that Balaz playing for Basingstoke over the last season when I was watching him week in, week out, because we didn't have a Balaz like that.
I think there's
Also,
a connection, isn't there? Not a connection. I think it's just more comfort in his surroundings. I
yeah,
think that's played a huge part in this.
he had good weekends, don't get me wrong. And he did score hat tricks. But to come in and hit the ground running like that over at your new club, I say it's a fantastic. Oh shit! It's a fantastic effort from him. The one player I'm super pumped to see on the score sheet is Aidan Doughty. On his return from his broken back, gets a goal. Let's fucking go. Love to see that. And I don't even know if Vanny was playing this weekend, because I saw some Instagram pictures of him in like Greece or somewhere.
No, I
Now,
don't think he was.
if he didn't play and they picked up those 2 results, woof, that is good news for the Bees. The boys have got to be happy. I think Dom's going to be extremely happy. Fantastic start for them. Literally couldn't have gone any better. Actually, yeah, it could have gone better. They could have been doing without conceding as many goals as they did on the weekend. They still conceded 11. You're not going to score 14 goals every weekend.
No, but you got to give them benefit of the doubt there. With
Yeah, totally.
they got the win in the end. In that
You
respect,
did get the win, but I mean, just from coach, just from all the years of playing,
yeah. From
even
the
if you
defensive
won,
aspect,
your coach is going to walk in the locker room and be like, "Boys, you can't let in fucking six goals and 5 goals back to back on a weekend." No coach is going to be very happy with that. Well, so the romance was kind of dead for Solway over the weekend. They get their opportunity at home against Telford Tigers on the Saturday, and they lose 4-2. Disappointing for them not to get a win in their home opener. They then travel down to London. They take on the Raiders in Romford. They lose 4-2 once again. What do you think they'll be feeling right now? Do you think they'll be disappointed? Do you think they'll be pissed off?
I think I think maybe not. Well, myself, maybe. Let's word that again. I think we underestimate sometimes the strength of what Telford bring, and that's a tough game. And they're going to want to give it to the Sharks. That was a close game. I think there was 2-2 up right until the end. So, I mean, as a league opener, okay, you can learn. And then first game on the road in the league, let's just say they're going to learn in both those games. It's their introduction to the national. They're going to take a lot from it, and they're going to be pumped for next weekend.
Oh yeah, they are, and I'm going to be there. So, yay me. Yeah, so I will be there this weekend. Sheffield Steeldogs on the Saturday, taking on Solway, obviously, and then the return fixture on the Sunday. Let's go to the Steeldogs, because their game down in Swindon obviously cancelled due to the Link Centre. Remind me in a minute, and if I remember, we'll come back to the Link Centre. But the Steeldogs had the Alex Graham jersey retirement night. Number 21 went to the rafters in Sheffield, and Huey, Brammer, and Tomo, they took Alex's number over to the net, much the same as they did with Paisy back in October last year. or November, whenever it was, and they raised it to the roof. I spoke to Mac last night, and apparently it was a very, very emotional night on and off the ice for everybody involved, everybody connected with the club. Just yeah, real tough. His Abby was there, and his mum and dad were there, and just a real tough day for everybody. Shout out to all of you guys for not only getting through that, but to go play a fucking hockey game
Yeah.
on the back of that. Outstanding effort. A loss, but it doesn't fucking matter.
No, not on the
It
grand scheme of things.
literally does not
Not at all.
matter in the slightest. Shout out to MK. Equally got to be tough for you guys. I mean, there's going to be plenty of boys there that played with, excuse me, played with Alex, new Alex, GB set up against them at conference and all the other bits and pieces against him just through being in the league. And he was a super likable kid, so he'd have touched hearts across the UK. I'm really happy that Sheffield have put his number in the rafters. Truly classy organisation. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely epic. Great organisation. Love to see them do that. But yeah, MK Lightning had a job to do on the back of a 6-1 victory at home against the Raiders on the Saturday. They come to work on the Sunday. They wrap up the weekend with 4 points, and they're going to be there or thereabouts. Early to say, but we know they are. Rory Herman, our boy, 2+3 on the weekend, I believe. So 5 points out of the 11 goals. That's good to see. Obviously, the goal he scored against Coventry in pre-season was fucking disgusting. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Coast to coast, absolute filth. Surprised he didn't stick around longer in the Elite League. I think the Elite League's loss is obviously the Nationals' gain, because having imports like that is only going to make the league better. Cali Robertson, yeah. I think the boys awarded him Player of the Night. It's always nice when it comes to the fellas. I don't know what it is. Some of the boys do an army hat, or it's a wrestling belt, or the hard hat of the week. And some of them are brilliant. I can't remember which team they had like a wife beater, like a denim wife beater, like the cut off sleeves. Like this is like 2 buttons, and just it's all the banter. But yeah, good weekend for him on his move, obviously from the Pitbulls to MK. He's one of the forwards you kind of forget about because they signed fucking 28 forwards, and they're all good.
I don't even know
They're all
line,
good.
what line is he on?
I don't even know.
Like,
7,
I'd love to see the line, the
7th
lines for
line.
MK.
Like, you look at it up and down the roster. Rutkis, he got a couple of goals at the weekend. He's there. Venus, Gulliver, and then you've got the imports. Like, and I'm sure I'm forgetting people. Absolutely positive.
30-second shifts.
Yeah, let them all play. But they're gonna be a wagon this year, no doubt about it. I would be very surprised if they're not in the mix for absolutely everything. Raiders, mixed weekend for them. They lose 6-1 to the Lightning, but get that 4-2 victory at home against Solway. Shout out to our boy Ethan James, 150th performance for the Raiders. He always gets the job done. I saw a little 2-pad stack coming across the net save on his Instagram. It was pretty filthy. And then that leaves us with a couple more games. Leeds Knights, Kieran Brown hat-trick, first night back. Let's go. It's like he's never been away. So
I'm not shocked.
Yeah. To the shock of absolutely nobody in British hockey.
Do you know what? I feel really sorry for, I don't know who it was I saw online. There's someone else doing Player of the Week, and I just feel fucking sorry for him. Just give him the template of Kieran Brown.
Yeah, just put Kieran Brown thing on there. I think it was the Macca's boys, but yeah, they're gonna have fun with that, because the worst thing I found about doing that, and it was more so like when I went to a game live. So we do it a lot based on stats and highlights, yeah. But highlights aren't showing a D-man with poke check and breaking down the play, making good first passes and that. They show the goals, maybe a hit, whatever. But then you go watch Sheffield, and someone will get 3+1, someone will get 2+2, someone will get 1+4. And Jonathan Kirk will be the best player on the ice. You're like, you don't see that from here.
Yeah.
It's so hard to see, and you're like giving these player of the week. It's great. It's good for content. It is good. Maybe we bring it back in the future, but more like just here as opposed to socials.
Yeah.
But how we talk about guys and who we pump up. Like obviously we're going to pump guys. Finn Braden, I believe he got his first goal of the year. The young guys that we spoke about in previous podcasts, get them goals on the score sheet. Yeah, we'll pump them up. But yeah, 5-0 win, 7-3 win. How do you feel if you're Bristol Pitbulls and the fixtures come out first weekend and you go, yeah, boys, let's go first weekend. Who we got? Leeds. Oh, okay. Fuck.
I'll take it to your advantage now. Get them out of the way.
I do.
Leeds are strong. Let's concentrate on the
Leeds are going to be strong all year as well.
I know you shouldn't take a game like that, and I know they're not going to take a game like that.
No, of course not.
But they can pick up points this year.
It's 2 games right now.
Leeds are just solid.
It's 2 games right now that you'd rather than in March.
Yeah, exactly. That was more my point.
Yeah, you need 4 points. Well, you don't want to go into the second last weekend of the season needing 4 points, and you've got Leeds. That's not going to be fun for you. That's not going to be fun for you. But yeah, the boys that are up there doing their thing as expected. Tigers, weird weekend for them. They got to Solway, get the win. They'll be very happy with that. First game up in Scotland for them. They get back, and I don't know how much of a factor this will be. There's Telford Tigers update fan results. I don't know. Follow him on Twitter anyway. He's a good follow. He does all the updates and stuff for the Tigers. They got back into the rink about 2. So by the time you unpack the kit, put the kit away, get home. I don't know if they're anything like me, but they probably have to crush a couple of beers because there's no way you're going straight to sleep. The adrenaline's still high. Yeah, you're probably looking at 3:30, 4 o'clock. If you got kids, your kids are getting up at 7. They don't give a fuck that you just came back from Scotland at 4. They don't care about that shit. Like, they do not care. So you're going to be getting. It's almost better that you like stay on the road because you don't have any of that distraction the next morning. But yeah, they come back, they get there, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. They then have to turn that around 12, 14 hours later. The Bees, they slept in their own beds. They'll be feeling good. Couple of hour journey up there. There's going to be factors like this all across the league this year, and it makes it super interesting.
Yeah, especially as the season wears on as well, when legs start getting tired.
Oh yeah,
bodies are starting. People are starting to get a little bit of a few niggles. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but I like it, and I welcome. Yeah, I love having Solway there and just sort of mixing it up, giving the league something a bit different, and giving the Scottish team a chance.
Absolutely. One team we haven't spoke about, and that is the Hull Seahawks. What a weekend for them. They started the season 4-1 down for Phantoms, only to come back and beat them 6-5 away in Peterborough. Awesome result. Deck Barmer on the fucking scorecard with 2 goals in that game. Probably tying his career high. Attaboy Deck. Love to see that. I don't know if he's ever scored 2 goals in a game. I have to ask him. And then you watched this game while I was down in Oxford. You had the stream there. 4-3.
Thank you, Hull.
Yeah, shout out Hull. Great to see teams working with us this year. Love that. Any teams that want to hook us up with streams, we do appreciate it. Does allow us to talk about it a little bit more and get a bit of an understanding more about your team. But yeah, the Seahawks take the 4-3 win, 4-point weekend for them. We touched on them previously that they were going to be a lot better this year, and they've started perfectly.
Yeah, they look good. They were fun to watch. I've got to say, Barmer, I've got to say, I love him, and it was fun. I remember when he started at Phantoms, when he joined the Phantoms, and I loved him, just watching him play. And within, I think, the first 15 seconds of the face-off, he'd already thrown a hit. So, and that was the first of many. Yeah, it was a fun game.
See how many minutes. I would like to see how many minutes he logs on a weekend. Kid fucking eat some minutes, man. Jeez.
But he was just doing a classic. He was solid. And I'll tell you who else was solid, who really impressed me, was that import Bartholomew.
Yeah.
Big lad.
Brock.
He does everything. He
Yeah,
does
I like the
everything,
look
and
of him as
he's
well.
fast. I've got to say, he's got to be one to watch out for. He's
What about the
very impressive.
Wildcats? Obviously, a real shit start to the season for them on the basis that they've had to go down to Cardiff to practice. They're spinning in a village on fucking Thursday nights instead of being on the ice. The Link Centre, that's what I was going to touch on. The Link Centre. So, did I screenshot this? I believe I did. Basically, there's talk of it being like December.
Oh,
Yeah, like, not like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Let's have a little look ski if I can't find it. But Mark, let's say that is the case and I'm right. Say I'm right. It's not me. Whoever put it on I think it was Swindon West page. I can't find my screenshots. Typical. There we go. I believe it was like the Swindon West page. Tell you what, while I'm looking for that, we'll come back to that because I've got
I
this
just
here.
want to say though, there's Swindon. Like you wanted a
Yeah,
little
rundown.
rundown
Yeah,
on how
go on.
they play. They show glimpses of what they're all about. They've got their roster's stacked. They've got the addition of Billing, and Billing is starting to click. I mean, his line is starting to click. I like what he brings there. We all know what he brings. His hockey IQ as well is excellent. Yeah, they're going to be dangerous. They're going to be
Right.
dangerous. So there's a lot of depth this year. That's why I really struggle to make a prediction this year of the league, because you don't know what to expect from Swindon every year. Hull are stronger this year. Phantoms, yeah. Anyway, let's stick with Swindon. Sorry.
Phantoms are looking strong, but they're going to be disappointed to let that one slip through their grasp. 4-1 at home, right? So Simon Bedwell on the West Swindon Community Group says, looks as though the link is going to be closed for a while and anticipate after Christmas at the earliest for most of it, especially if the HVAC and pumps are all knackered in the plant rooms. And then he'd screenshotted a post. I take it it's from the rink. Our team are working hard to get the centre back up and running, but as you can imagine, this may take a little while to fully assess the damage and repair those areas affected. So we just wanted to let you know that we'll be in touch as soon as we can welcome you back. What has happened? Unfortunately, the situation in the centre is worse than originally thought, with key operational areas and utilities affected by water damage, including power supplies, heating, pumping, ventilation systems, and drainage. As such, we'll be working towards a stage reopening of the centre as areas are cleared, cleaned, repaired, and made safe for both our customers and staff. In the meantime, our website will be regularly updated, and we'll be in touch via email as soon as we have more information for you. That's got to be fucking squeaky bum time for Steve Swindon.
I'm speechless.
Yeah, mate, that's not good. That isn't good because you end up with if that's shut until December, those boys are going to be playing 3 and 4 nights until March, until the season's done from Christmas.
I've got to throw
4
something
and
out
4.
there.
Go on.
So I saw very great gesture from the Cardiff Devils to
Yeah.
allow Swindon to use their facilities. Is there the possibility, because of the ownership of that place, is there the possibility, given the circumstances, they might be able to complete their home games there? A
No.
little like MK with Coventry.
You've got Cardiff Fire there. You have the juniors there. Don't see it happening. There's no twin pad anymore. I genuinely don't see
There's
there
no
being
twin pad.
I don't see there being ice time there for fixtures. Obviously, the Fire, they're not going to be at home every weekend. Maybe they could get a couple of hours ice to put a game on, but at what stage do you then figure out how much does it cost and how much it's going to cost to get the players there? Are you going to make any money? How much are you losing by doing that? How do the season ticket holders get reimbursed? I mean, we all know that Swindon fans would travel to Cardiff to watch a game. Of course they would. But it's a minefield I wouldn't want to play with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only just chucking it out there. I mean, there's nothing to it, but I
No.
just really do worry
What would
about
you
the
do
future.
if you were them?
Well, there's only one option. That's to fulfill all of your games that you can, all try and just switch them all to away games. Again, that just messes up a whole system,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
because
With
everyone
both
else is
playing.
playing.
So that means every club has got to change. It just doesn't work for anyone. I don't know. I don't know how they resolve it, but I really hope that it can be resolved and fast. Like this, that's a scary situation.
I hope it's not December. I mean, ideally, they don't want this getting out of October, really. But if the plant room's fucked and the ventilation's knackered and the lighting, and obviously the rink's going to have gone down if the electrics were gone because the plant would have turned off, the rink would have melted, the lines have to be. There's going to be a lot of work that's going to have to go into getting that place up and running again. But if there's a team that can get through it, it'd be Swindon. Aaron will have those boys dialed in. Like I said, they were at the village. They were doing their spin class as a team. Then they're down in Cardiff. They're skating. He's not going to let them just dot around just because the rink's not happening. He'll have them working. He'll make sure they're there. As you say, the addition of Billing, he's huge for them. It's going to be interesting. Swindon they'll be pushing mid-table. Can they go one better this year and get right amongst that top two? I still don't think they have the depth that what Leeds and MK have this year. But hey, what do I know? Brighton walk up 4 points this weekend, so good for them. What do I know? Mate, anything else?
I think we covered.
Oh, I've
all
got
the
one more.
fixtures.
One more. So as I said, I was down at Oxford. Shout out to Oxford. I believe the total was like maybe 650 people in there, which is
Nice.
the busiest attendance in over 8 years. I've got a video coming out this week. I don't know if it'll be up before this or after it, but if it's out before, go watch it. If it's out after, set a reminder it's coming soon. I've got a clip in the video where I just walk along from the inside of the rink and just past all the fans. They're queuing back to the car park. Morsey comes outside. He's like, mate, it's normally like to here. And I'm like, oh, really? You're looking down. And it's just packed out in there. Good atmosphere. Take about Lucas Smittle, though. That Slough Jets team. They are fast. They are young. They are hungry. They are well drilled. Never saw one player give up on a back check. Never saw one player not finish a hit on a forecheck. Every single guy worked for every single puck. It was fucking pleasure to watch, actually. Like that little Seb Moore kid, he's a real deal. Obviously, we had his brother Chris play in the charity game. I was really impressed with him. 3 goals. Took every single one of them very well. Like, still in the face cage. Slough got so many face cages. This was saying to Morsey, stood there watching. So I swear every time you look up, there's a fucking different face cage on the ice. Just young guys churning them out. And they're all good hockey players. Oxford, we're going to have a couple of their imports. Hullaby's going to come on the pod. So there you go, you Oxford crew. This guy looks like a beauty. He just likes to run people. He's big. He can shoot. He's going to need a couple of games to adjust, but I like the atmosphere and just the whole vibe around that NIHL One South. It was a really enjoyable match night experience. So if you're in the Oxford area, go check it out. Also went down and checked out the Natural History Museum, which was awesome. The one at Oxford University there. So for any of you like into that kind of stuff, couldn't recommend it enough. You like that sort of stuff, Mark? A bit like dinosaurs?
Love it. Yeah.
Mate, it was
I'm all for
awesome.
that.
Yeah, it was so good. But yeah, that's it from me, folks. Anything else from you, Mark?
No, we good. That was fun.
Right, do the good
First of the
stuff.
season.
Subscribe, like, share. This has been episode 1 of the weekly roundup here at 4,000 and counting. We will see you again for another episode very, very soon. Peace.
Peace.